live on YouTube. So, to everybody out there, hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is the pink elephant in the room conversation. And what we will be discussing for today is on relationships and growing them, understanding the unconditional love, understanding having the patience, understanding trusting each other, understanding all of that. And that is what we're going to be going over for today. And again, for anybody out there who's watching this, if the screen is black, that is on purpose. It's only going to be for about this week, and then after that, we're going to be switching to actually seeing faces. So, let's begin with giving an example. There's some people out there that have trust issues, and it could be due to the fact of the pain they've been in other relationships with other people around them. Or they've dealt with someone before in their past who's now with them right now. And they could be having trouble with what they're going through. Trust is a very important thing. And in my experience, what I've understood about trust, when you don't trust someone, if you truly care about that person in that sense, you need to not worry about the future of trusting that person, but worry about don't even worry, but look and understand, observe and be aware of the here and now. That's a big issue with people when we talk about trust. They want so badly to work towards getting to this trust, and it hurts a lot when someone doesn't trust you. I should know. But you have to focus on the here and now. The future, it will not matter, because what you have to realize is you are in this very moment as you are. As you listen to this recording, not even this recording, I'm sorry. As you listen to this live, as you listen to this live, you are in the moment of the here and now. How do we get past being able to trust someone in a relationship? And it doesn't matter, friendship or girlfriend, boyfriend, no matter who you are, partner, whoever it is out there. How do we get past that? You have to be willing, first of all, to keep going consistently. Have faith in the fact that you can actually change this. And on top of that, we talked about this yesterday about collective consciousness. Even in a relationship, you can change the outcome of whatever you feel in a relationship if you believe in your own self that this will change. Now, you have no control over the other person. That's very true. However, the more you bring out your positivity of knowing you can change a situation, you'll be impressed at how you can change those situations. I've been in a slew of different situations that were pretty cruel, dark, or gruesome in a sense, and at times, not all the time, but at times when I had grown my positivity and had gone forward with the fact of this was the choice and I would not take no for an answer, it became so. You have to be willing to realize in your own mind that if you want to trust a person, then you need to make it so. Make it so for yourself that it will be a reality. That's what matters most when we're talking about trust. And many people might feel like, well, they did a lot of shady things to me and this and that and this and that. Well, you have to ask yourself then, especially if you're with that person, then why are you with them? If you are hurting because of that, and it's understandable you're hurting because of that. You have to ask yourself, why are you with that person? Otherwise, if you truly care for them, you have to be willing to push at past whatever you're feeling. The fact that they might cheat on you or anything. Be observant and be aware of that. But on top of trusting, you need to be very open. And for some people, that is a difficult task because of people's reaction towards what a person might state or say to them. Many people will react in a certain way, and this is why many people don't want to tell others what they feel, because they feel that the person will get upset, that they'll cut them off, that they won't give them a chance to explain what they feel. And so many people, and this has happened to me included, will ask someone, why aren't you telling me what you feel and everything? And what many other people have to realize on that end of the line is you have to be willing to let that person speak what they feel and not just rip it from them due to what you feel or disagree with. You have to be willing to listen to that person, period. If you're not willing to listen to them, you can't really expect them or really see them as wanting to tell you what they feel if you do not give them that chance to tell them. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have to be willing to actually speak to them. Talk back with them after they've said what they feel. Don't just because and I know for some people this is a difficult task because I do it sometimes myself. Just because someone says something and so on and so forth, don't completely go blank and say, I don't have anything else to say. Or I'm done. Or this and that. Or you walk away from the situation. If you do have to walk away, however, if it's that heated, tell that person that I'm getting upset and I need to walk away right now to breathe. Do that. Because when you get to that point of argument and you're not willing to actually listen to that person and see the simple fact that what they're trying to do is to help both parties. If one person, and I know this for myself, knows that if you get upset about something and you know the best thing for you that works is walking away to cool yourself off, then allow that person to speak what they feel so they don't get to that point. Otherwise, it can get to a point which most people don't like. You have to be willing to be open. For most people, we want unconditional love with conditions. And we never want to, in a sense, admit that this is something we do. But we'll tell people we love them, but we desire them to fulfill certain acts to provide in order to keep this unconditional love growing. In my past relationships, personally, that has been something that not only me, but other people I've been with have used in a sense, believing that to be what a relationship is about. However, it does not, it doesn't work that way in any sense. And the reason why it does not work is you have to think of it like a gas tank in a car. If you keep filling it with the money you have, and let's say there was one day you don't have enough to fill the tank, the car stops. The car stops. And hence, in a sense, the love stops. So, when you're with someone, instead of seeing them as a sense of something you can get out of them, you have to be willing to have a bit of a cough. But you have to be willing to understand simply helping that person just to help that person. And that is a hard thing for most people because most of us are expecting something out of it. But to truly, genuinely, unconditionally love someone is to help them because you truly desire them to get to where they say they desire to go. When you desire them to do this and that, you are doing that because you desire that for yourself to go to where you desire to go instead of giving that person what they desire. Working towards giving the other what they desire and working together as one is vitally important in a relationship. Most of us are looking to tell the other person what they need to do, how they should do it, and so on and so forth, instead of looking towards what that person enjoys and desires and helping them get closer to what they desire. That is a hard thing for most people due to how we've been raised and how we've been taught in today's society. And you have to be willing to get your mind out of what's been taught to you and actually see what works for yourself and see genuinely, lovingly, what that person desires to grow, because you're not looking for anything out of it, but you truly desire them to get to where they say they want to go. And to be your unconditional love may not be easy just by doing it. But when you are being your unconditional love, it might be a lot easier on you. How would you act if you were unconditionally loving all the time? Think about that and tell me what you think in the comment section. And for the people in Periscope, don't hesitate to tell me what you think as well. How would you act towards that person? And it might not be easy. It might be really hard trying to work towards that. But at the same time, I would state don't betray yourself if it goes too far towards harming you. And on top of harming, speaking of harming, you have to realize that you are all one, no matter who you are out there. And as being in a relationship, if you're in a relationship with someone, if they are hurting, and let's say in a sense that if you hurt them or they feel hurt due to you, let's say they are you. The question is, would you treat yourself the way that you felt you needed to say anything to them? For many, you might not treat a person that way because you care for them. You love them. Then you might want to treat them a bit differently. In order to grow both sides of who you are. This isn't just for that person, but for both sides of who you are, to allow yourself to grow your gentleness, your meekness of who you are. And one of the things I've seen in relationships is the fact that it's not okay to cry in front of someone. And that is a horrible thing to do because you see what crying does, if observed by someone very closely, when you cry, because some people, they don't cry because they feel it's a pride thing. It's okay to cry. You see, when you cry away whatever you feel, the pain or anything, it is a release of the frustration or the anger or whatever you're feeling. When you are allowed to do that naturally, it allows yourself not to become unnatural to who you are, growing into a chronic depression. And I've discussed this actually on YouTube about grief and depression, the importance of it. I've even told a bit of my story about what I've been through and why it's vitally important for you to not bottle in that what you're grieving about, no matter what it is. It could be you lost a pin to you lost a loved one. It could be you lost a jacket to you lost the electronic. Whatever it is, if you feel you need to grieve over it, grieve over it. And for those people who may feel like, why are you crying over this or that? You have to you need to, and this is what I mean by understanding to be gentle towards others before you. If they're grieving about it, let them grieve, because it's vitally important to let someone grieve. To let out whatever frustration and pain they feel so they are able to grow and love who they are as a person. Because who you are your emotions, your intuition, your logic, and more. Loving yourself in a relationship is the most important thing out of everything, because you can never love someone more until you learn to love yourself first. When you are loving who you are as a person, all the fears, all the pain, all the terror of what you feel in a relationship, everything that scares you, the future of what you think will happen between you and this person, you will be able to melt that away, because you have now taken time to first love yourself. And when you love yourself, all the insecurities of whatever you feel in life, whatever you feel in your day to day, will change, because you're working towards loving yourself. And how exactly can we work towards loving ourselves? One way would be, and we talk about this all the time, meditate, don't complicate. We say that because of the simple fact that it allows you to go within who you are and get to know who you are as a person, and know what ticks inside of you. Ask yourself what makes you tick inside of you, and what you're thinking. What is Justin thinking about right now that makes him tick, that is growing who he is as a person? What makes you tick, that is making you feel the way you are feeling? Another thing I would suggest to people is what you're eating. Certain things help with positivity and energy to grow it, but on top of just the food you eat, you have to be willing to control that yourself. You have to be willing to put within yourself, constantly thinking your mind what you desire to grow. If it's negative, then find a way to get rid of it. Now, that doesn't mean completely block negativity, because it's just like bottling in your grief. If you bottle it in, it's not going to be pretty. Find a way to get rid of it. Anyway, whether it's talking to a friend, whether it's writing a note, whether it's texting someone, whether it's talking to a friend on the phone, whether it's exercising, meditation, or whatever, dancing, being in the rain, going naked to the lake, whatever works for you. Find that thing that works for you to get rid of that negativity. And also, to sincerely love who you are. Be patient and be gentle with yourself. So many of us are so hard on who we are as a person. We believe we're not good enough. We believe we shouldn't deserve what we deserve. We feel we're just not getting to where we need to go, and we're so hard on ourselves. You are your biggest hero and your biggest enemy if you choose to be. If you truly desire to love yourself, you have to be willing to be your biggest hero and your biggest lover to really know to love yourself. You have to remember that just like anything, just like this broadcasting, that it's all to let you know how amazing you guys are, how divine you are, how beautiful you are. Remember always to know thyself is to know the Creator within, because you all are the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within. Love yourself always. And to everybody out there, have a good morning, have a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. Namaste.